So now we start chapter 6. We already finished chapter 1 to chapter 5. We already finished discussing the part which can be called milk science. We know the composition, we know the synthesis, we know the characteristics, we know the main component groups, and several factors which may influence the milk composition. And then we also discuss in chapter 5 dairy microbiology as well. So from all the basic knowledge now, we'll go to chapter 6. We start processing, we start technology. Okay. So in this chapter, what do we discuss? The processes mean the processing treatment, which are applied in processing milk and dairy products. So these are the main groups that we will discuss in this chapter, which is quite long. We have first one, milk collection. How milk is collected from the cow. How do we take milk from the cow? Okay. And then storage means how to do storage of raw milk. Transport from the farm to the factory. And then how milk is received into the processing factory. And then the second part we will discuss centrifugation. Centrifugation in Vietnamese means ly tâm. Okay, is that we apply the centrifugal force, the force that bring material away from the center, and the separation will be based on the difference in the density of plasma and the density of fat, and then we can separate the cream away from skim milk. Okay, so centrifugation, the main application is to take the cream from milk. And then we have two fraction, cream and skim milk. We also can use centrifugation to remove spores from milk as well. We will discuss in detail. Standardization is a step that we apply to fix the composition of the product or of the material. And especially in dairy industry, standardization is to fix the fat content. The fat content of raw milk may vary time to time based on the breed of the cows, based on the feed, based on the season, the age of the cows, several factors from farm to farm, from animal to animal. So we do this step to be sure that product have a certain fat content, which is consistent, not varying time to time. And that is the main objective of the step. Homogenization is a process to make a homogeneous product. It's actually applied to prevent creaming. Creaming means the phenomenon that the cream, the fat globule, will rise up to the top and will separate from the raw milk. So when we do homogenization, we can prevent this so products become more homogeneous. The principle is that we reduce the size of fat globule. We deform and then change them in many smaller fat droplets. Then the separation is reduced strongly. This is the main objective. Homogenization là đồng hóa, còn standardization là chuẩn hóa. And then heat treatment is a process is actually applied widely, commonly in dairy industry, also in food industry as well. We use heat treatment to destroy microorganisms, to extend the cell life, to make products safe for human consumption. Coagulation of caseins, and this is a process that's applied in making yogurt or even in making cheese, that we coagulate casein to form the textures of the products. Concentration process is the are the processes that we apply to remove part of water. When we remove part of water means we increase the solid content, the solid matter content of the product, means that we reduce the water activity, then we extend the cell life, we reduce the volume and mass, when reduce the transport and storage costs as well. Cooling and freezing. Cooling is actually applied for raw milk storage here, or storage when we receive the raw milk into the factory. Freezing is not applied a lot in milk and dairy products, but we will discuss a little bit just to know the principle. And packaging is to protect the product, to prevent the contamination from outside into the products with microorganisms, with chemical substances, with other environmental factors as well. And packaging, then we can also carry the information for the product. In dairy industry, it's very important to have accepted packaging, which is applied after UHT treatment. Then we do aseptic packaging, so we discuss the principle of these processes as well. Right, so now we start first with the first part, milk collection, storage, transport, and reception. Milk can be collected by this traditional methods, hand milking. Right? So we use just the hand to take milk from the cow. What are the advantages of these methods? Advantages is this is relevant for small farms. For the household with several cows, then it's suitable. And then we can use the available labor in the house. Okay, some people do not have to work whole day. For example, they have time. They can participate in the farming. They can take care of the cows. They can do milking 2 times a day, for example. And then what is the other advantage? And this one method has a good relation or the good intimacy between the human, the owner, and the cow. So you can feel the cow better if the cow is sick, if the cow is tired, if the cow would have myotitis and so on. So this person can observe and can feel it. Okay, so you better feel your cows. But what are the disadvantages? Disadvantages is that this method is actually not suitable for large farm. For large farm of, for example, several hundred cows, thousand cows, and so on, then this method is because it is not relevant and not suitable. And the second disadvantage is that the hygiene condition is not consistent. For example, it will really depend a lot on the technique and the skills of this person. Some people are careful, they can do it good, but some other people are not careful, they don't do it very good, for example. And then when you do this, you need to follow several steps. First, you need to wash this, you need to disinfect it, you need to dry it before you do milking, for example. And then the other disadvantage is that this is method is quite open. Means that you take milk and you put in a container, it's quite open to the surrounding environment. Means that you may have more contamination with microorganism. And then after that, if milk is not cooled down fast, then the microbial growth will be quite strong as well. So these are what disadvantages and advantages of this method. Then we have the second method to do milk collection. We use milking machine. So for example, here is a system, it's a place they can do milking of like 50 cows a time, even 100 cows a time. They make it like this, a spay like this, and the cow when it's at the time of milking, they will stand backward like this, okay, and then the people who can walk here can walk back and forth this area, and then the eye is right at the level of the udders of the cow, so it's easy to manipulate to operate the system. And then you have a machine that apply the vacuum pressure like to suck the milk from the cow, and then the milk is pumped in a closed system pumping into the cooling tank. So milk is now taken from the cow and pumped in a closed system directly into the cooling tank. So the time for the milk to be outside is very short. And this way then the microbiome quality of raw milk is better, because when you reduce the temperature faster, you inhibit their growth faster, and then you can maintain the quality better for the raw milk. And what are the other advantages? The first one is of course the hygiene condition. The second one is can be applied for large farms. Okay, and the third one is that the milk can be cooled down also very fast as well. But what are the disadvantages? Of course, this method is expensive, not suitable for a farm with several cows because it's very expensive. Maybe for the farm of several cows, you can use a mobile milking system like this. You can bring along to the cow. And the other disadvantage is that you need trained people, the people who are trained to do this. And of course, when they are trained to do this, then they can do this professionally. They can do everything in a good manner. It's also good. The third method to do milk collection, to do milking, is to use a robot. Okay, this is advanced methods, and the robots can work 24 per 24 hours. So normally, if you have a farm of 50 cows, for example, then you can have one robot like this is enough, and you don't need to milk many cows at a time, but it depends on the cow. So you need to do is you need to train your cow. Your cow walk on the field to eat grass, and when they feel that they need to be milked, then they can walk back home to the house and to where the robot is, and then they can enter here. Or the robot will do the milking. So all the steps are automatic. There are some sensor, actually a number of sensor in this system. There are some sensor here to read the text of the cow. There is kind of electronic chip that's carried by the cow either on the neck, on the ear. So the machine will read and we know what is this cow, what is her age, what is her situation, as her breed, and many information that you can store in your computer. Then when the cows enter here, she can eat some good feed here. You put some good feed here, and then you see that there are quite a number of bites. There are actually 4 bites. 4 bites will suck the milk from 4 separated udders, separated glands. So when this gland is finished with the milk, then this is released, it's removed. So by doing this, it's like the milking is controlled by us individual udders, not all fall together. If you go backward to this system, actually you have only one pipe that connect to the 4 funnels here, right? And 4 funnel here will suck into the 4 teeth of the cow. So you control 4 teeth only on one pipe. So if this udder is finished, it is it is still continue to be milk to wait for the other one to finish first. So when all 4 finish, then this electronic panel will sense it and then we stop the sucking. But then all will fall together. And you see this one has a 4 pipe, means it's will suck one by one separately. It's controlled one by one. So it's kind of more gentle for the cow. Quite a number of sensors. First, there are some sensors that detect where are the udders, where are the teeth, and then the machine will spray some water or some detergent, and then there are some brush that bring here to brush to clean this place, and then rinse again with clean water, and then there is some compressed air to dry the udders. The air is blown here to dry it before this pipe is connected to take the milk. So everything is automatic, of course, and this machine is expensive. But this machine has another big advantage is that it can register or it can save the data on what? On the milking time, on the milk volume. How many times this cow is milked a day, for example, or what is the volume of milk. So the software will record everything and will detect if there is something strange. For example, every day this cow will give 40 liters of milk, but today it will be like, or yesterday it was like 38 and today it's only 36. Then the software can give you a signal that something may be wrong with this cow. Maybe she is ill, maybe she has myotitis, that the yield is going down so fast, something like that. Or normally the one cow will enter twice a day, but it's already midnight today, but she only comes one time, then maybe it's something that she get hurt somewhere on the field. Maybe her legs are broken. She cannot go home. She cannot go to this system to get milk and so on. So you have to go around to look for her. And because this advanced system can also make give some alarm. For example, if the machine gets broken, it doesn't work well anymore, then the system can send some message to your phone, to the phone of the owner. So the owner can know and come and check and repair it. And of course, the machine will not require salary, but it requires maintenance.